What if Neptune was a monkey and Pluto was a bat? If you think that's weird and random, then go check out my other videos on my planet-based Fakemon that aren't actually Fakemon because I'm making my own game, but whatever. Hello everyone, my name is Sivana and welcome to my studio. This is part 2 of my last Minichi video because we had to split it in half since it ended up being long and we were swamped with other work. Today I am finishing the solar system of Forged Faezoan. But before that, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already, and consider joining my Patreon to get some exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Now let's just get into the drawing. Up next we have Neptune. So a bit of backstory for these weird little monkeys. I randomed into this fusion of Simisear and Sylveon a while back and made the derpy little drawing that you see next to it, but I never got around to making it into a video. So here is the glow up to a little guy I call Monkeem. The idea is that he's fire type, but actually looks like ice cream. I just thought that would be so fun and a cool subversion for fire types. So Monkeem is monkey and cream, and it is fire and light type since light is my version of fairy. But much like Mitodaki, Monkeem got frozen in its experiments and was forced to evolve into Neptuki. Neptuki is a fire and ice type, named after Neptune and monkey. I definitely made it look like a psychic type, but whatever, it's a cosmic entity without needing the cosmic typing. I wanted to keep the fire type to expand on Monkeem's weird fire hair and tail that doesn't really look like fire at all. I kept the colors from the original Monkeem because they're just so tasty looking. A fire type that looks like ice cream is definitely a new one, and I just love this stupid little guy so much. He's so cute. And the shiny becomes black and white, kind of like a mime, with orange flames, so it also looks like a burnt marshmallow. I didn't know how to make both red and blue work on Neptuki, so he just has blue fire, and then the shiny it becomes orange. Its accents also become black and white because, like I said, I love inverting shiny colors, so all the dark parts become white and the light parts become black. It's also an inversion of Monkeem's shiny too, where the colors are flipped. It's pretty neat, you should wait to see it at the end. When rendering the flames on Monkeem's head and tail, I realized it kind of looked like toothpaste, which is really funny, and it being light type is going to be my justification for the colors of these flames. I enjoy both design conventions of make it represent the type, like, clearly, and subvert expectations. Like, if I didn't tell you these were fire types, you would probably just assume ice for both of them, because Ice Cream Monkey and then Icy Space Monkey. I still wanted both types represented in Neptuki though, so its mane and stuff kind of looks like stylized fire, and then I gave it all these ice orbs to show how it utilizes both. So Neptuki has crazy good temperature output and control to keep both its fiery mane and tail hot and keep the orbs in its hand and on its head frozen solid. The orb on its head is actually part of its head. It is a hyper-intelligent Faezoan and it has to protect that big old brain with some very dense ice that is a replica of the actual planet, and it looks like a giant marble. I just love this evolution line even though it was forced, because I see Monkeem as this very silly little guy that makes no sense and is literally a clown and has maybe a single brain cell. And then it evolves into this very serious, sophisticated genius powerhouse of a monkey, completely removing all of its character in the process. But maybe a good trainer like you can save it from the clutches of Forge Industries and show it how to have fun again. And lastly, but not leastly, we have Pluto. I don't care if it's not a planet or whatever, our solar system is not complete without it. And this one is very different. See, I had this idea to have a little baby bat have branching evolutions into different kinds of bats with different types. So when trying to figure out which Faezoan would evolve to be Pluto in this theme, the tiny little bat was literally perfect. So here is Babat and its evolution. I had completed these before as well, but didn't like how they looked 2 years later, so they're getting a redesign. But for all of you, it's basically the first design. Babat was literally perfect though, no notes, and it is also pure wind type. As for its evolutions, we have Espebat, who is based on a Vesper bat, which is a species of microbats, and these little guys just have the biggest ears and they are so cute. So I thought, hey, I bet I could put some big eyes in those big ears, which sounds really weird both in and out of context. But yes, essentially I just wanted to put eye patterns all over this little bat to signify it as a psychic or cosmic type. It also doesn't have real eyes, so it relies on telepathy and echolocation to see its surroundings. With magic psychic powers, who needs eyes? Now we move along to the actual forged evolution, Plutubat. It becomes wind and metal type since it is also named after plutonium because Forge Industries are so clever and basically just want the whole world to be metal. Wait, that's the antagonist of my Gem story. I'm getting some wires crossed here. Moving on, we have the ice-type Borelbat, named after the Aurora Borealis. I know this is a Forged Faezoan video, but I really couldn't show Babat and Plutubat without showing off all the others too. They will not be in the final image though, so you will see their shinies at the end of this segment. So, Borelbat, I love them. They are based on the Lasurius Borealis, which is the eastern red bat. Now, this Faezoan will not be red, but its name is really too perfect to not use. And for its design, I wanted a dragon-looking bat, because bat dragons are the coolest type of dragon. Fight me in the comments. And finally, we have Noctubat, named after Nocturnal, and it's based on silver-haired bats and Dracula. This is the most vampire bat design I could ever hope to create. And come on, I just had to make one of these bats the edgy one. But seriously, I love him though. Noctubat is Void type because, like, I don't know, just look at it. Void is the dark type equivalent, and the dark type is edgy and sometimes evil. In the coloring, I make the red like really blood red, and I'm just so happy with it. For Plutobat, I just kind of sampled a lot of colors from Pluto because it has a bunch of colors on it actually. I always thought it was just a gray or white rock or something. So its body is metallic gray, and then the tips of its wings, ears, and feet are lighter type of metal, and it just looks really cool. The only fur on its body is its face, chest, and little tail thing. Even though these are all very different looking bats, I wanted to keep a few similarities between them, so you can at least tell that they came from the same thing. Like the neck fur, fangs, cheek fluff, and the kind of heart-shaped nose, well, except for Noctubat. All three natural evolutions have 3 fingers and toes, as well as prominent eyebrows. Plutobat kind of has the eyebrows, but only has 2 claws and 3 toes. Anyway, I just love this little bat family. Espebat is a very cheery and mischievous little bat who plays with illusions and is now light and cosmic type, losing the wind typing. Borelbat is very friendly and sweet and wants to help others, but it can be very fearsome when it needs to be, as it is now ice and dragon type. And Noctubat is probably just evil and will most likely have some blood-related powers because this is my game and I can do whatever I want. It is also now void and beast type. Beast being like the untamed, natural terror that you feel like when you see a tiger out in the wild or something. But for Plutobat, I wanted it to be angry and angsty, and it keeps the wind type from basically just being a babat that got coated in metal. The 3 normal evolutions also use different evolution methods. It used to be Shiny Stone, Dusk Stone, and Dawn Stone, but this isn't Pokemon anymore, so I made my own thing, and they are called gems. However, these all evolve with 1 gem, the Twilight Gem, which will change what they evolve into based on the time of day. Daytime, it will evolve into Espebat. At twilight, it will be Borelbat, and at night, it will turn into Noctubat. For the shinies, Babat becomes this cute baby pink with blue accents, Espebat goes goth and copies Big Bro Noctubat, who turns teal because y'all know I love red and teal. Borelbat turns to this kind of sandy gold to allude to its red bat origins. Then Plutobat becomes more silver and brass? Maybe? Some kind of yellowy green metal with blue fur because I love opposites. I had a lot of fun coloring all of these things, especially Borelbat with its wings, and it has this massive fluffy mane that is actually lined with ice crystals so it reflects the aurora from its wings onto its fur. I imagine the underside of its wings being like a window into the astral plane where the cosmic dust and stars are always moving in a really uncanny way. Since Pluto is so small that it can barely be called a planet, I knew this forged evolution had to be the smallest of the bunch, but he looks like such a tough little guy. Babat is tiny, like less than a foot tall, so Plutobat really doesn't get much bigger, and I just love that for this like menacing forged Faezoan thing. Also, I just realized I could have named Plutobat Robat, because that's a robot bat. Do you get it? Haha. So here they all are. I actually decided to put the rest of the bats and their shinies in the final pick because I had more room and it looked kind of silly with so much empty space. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and tell me what you think about all my weird little guys. I had a lot of fun with these evolutions, but I'm not done with Forged Faezoan yet. The rest just aren't evolutions and are all man-made in some way. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay tuned for that. A big shout out and thank you to my patrons, Tamara Springberg, Tony Brady, and PokePoke18. As always, take care and I'll see you in the next one.